Well, now this is my compressor that I use for many things around the studio, like for stapling canvases to the backgrounds and whatnot. Well, it totally quit working. The regulator is broken. I mean, these are the pieces for the regulator right here. This here, I guess it got sticky. There's a little spring that has to go in here, but the main problem, one of the pieces actually broke. Like, this is the piece that broke from this little piece right here. See, this centerpiece broke out from there and just won't work anymore. So I sent away to Amazon, and I got a whole new kit here. So let's see what we can do here. We got O-rings, we got everything we need. Got this replacement piece for the one that's broken. Here's the knob for it right here, pressure up and down. So we'll just see if I can't fix it. I'll put it out on the bench so you can get a good idea. Soft face mallet out of the way. These are the broken pieces. And these are the new pieces right here in the little bag. So we had this piece here. This was actually quite stuck and would not function at all. But, you know, I've moved it around enough. It's moving now. So I've got some silicone lube spray here. I'm going to clean out this, the bore in here. I'll get like a paper towel and spray a little of this silicone in there and just clean that all out. I don't want to get too much silicone in there, but I want things moving just the same. So just wait while I go get a paper towel and clean that out. Well, I'm back. Like I said, I'm going to spray my little silicone in there. I'm going to clean that out, because the last thing you want if you're painting something is to get fish eyes from silicone or something in there. Now then. Okay, now we've got our new pieces, hey? So I got this new piece here. Just going to give it a little dot of silicone. Put the spring on there. Put this in. Oh, that works really smoothly. That's working really, really smoothly now. Now this I've got to put in from behind in here. You won't be able to see that, but I'm going to sneak that in. It's a little tricky getting it past that hose and everything, eh? Okay, it's gone in now. Now that I've got that in, I'm going to put the spring on. Hopefully, you got to push. I'm pushing against that spring now. I've never done this before, so we're kind of learning together here. Everything's a bit slippery now too with the silicone, eh? But I kind of think that's what we want. So now let me just check with this screwdriver. I'm going to try pushing that back. Oh yeah, we're in business now. Now then, I'll just tighten that up. There, we've got it back in. Now if you look on my old one here, I had lent this compressor out to somebody and I see a witness mark on there. I think somebody was into this regulator before at some point. Now we've got a big spring that has to fit into here, and then this handle goes over top of it. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to give this O-ring on here a little spritz of the old stuff and slide it in there. Well, now that seems to turn in very nicely, really. Well, I guess now what I gotta do is see, does it work? Oh, I hope it's gonna work. Well, it seems to be working. I'm hearing a bit of a leak. Well, let's keep an eye on the gauges and see how it builds pressure. It seems like we might be okay. It's holding pressure, nothing's leaking. Wow, look at there. The regulators, or the cutoff is working. It got up to 150 psi and it shut right off. Check our regulator. Regulator seems to be working just fine. So what I want to do, I want to set this for about 70 psi and see how it runs my stapler. Ooh, that's hot. Man, oh man, that's... Yeah, that should operate my stapler just fine at 70 psi. So we'll get the stapler out and check it out, and then afterwards I'll show you the close-up on the pieces, what actually happened to this thing. Now I only use these stainless steel staples, and I use these to staple my canvas to the stretcher frames. So I make the stretcher frames right here, and I use these stainless steel staples here. I'll show you. This is how you load the gun. They go in the bottom here like that. Bam, it's loaded. The trick thing is, there's the trigger is here and the release is there. You want to make sure you don't hit the release instead of the trigger. Well, you saw me put the staples in the gun. This is the material that I staple the canvas to. I stretch it around and I staple it on the back. That's going to do nicely. You don't want it to rip the canvas. You don't want it too hard. You can adjust the pressure up a little bit if you want. At about 80 psi. Between 70 and 80, that's nice and flush. That's going to be just fine. So, like I said, with photographs, I use the stapler. Use it at 70 to 80 psi. It's working just fine now. I'm really happy with that. So like I said, I'm going to show you exactly what happened to the parts that went bad. Well, now the actual broken piece is this right here. This piece actually got pushed right out of there and broken. So this is actually broken. So there's a rubber O-ring around there. I lubed that with a little silicone spray. Now on the back, this little spring goes in here, and this thing here pushes in there. And this thing was sticky too. That was causing a problem. These pieces, I guess I could save them, but I don't really see the need. The big problem was this thing right here that was actually broken. So I thought about maybe trying to glue it, but I didn't really bother, because I thought, well, it isn't going to be fixed anyway. So, and it was cheap enough to get the parts. The whole part kit was like 20 bucks delivered to my door from Amazon, so that was well worth it. Well, now I sure can't put it away like that. This is the Porter Cable cover that I got to put on. That shows you your tank pressure and your regulated pressure. So this thing here kind of fits on here. Just sits in there like that. And it's a special torque, so I've got these special screwdrivers, and one of them just happens to fit this, so I can push that in. And okay, so just crank it in. Got to have the tiniest screwdrivers for but anyway, there it is. It's totally fixed. Like I said, a few simple parts is all it took. Just a few simple parts and away you go. Compressor's working just wonderful again. I don't think it ever worked that good. I can use lower pressure, higher pressure. "150 psi, it stops." That's working just fine. Well, now that's all it took, a set of custom screwdrivers and a simple set of replacement parts, and we're right back in business again. I think that's just great. And that regulator had been dogging me for ages.